I'm Summer Ellis, and I am the designer and owner of Summer Ellis Bijouterie. So my mom owned a craft store when I was little, and we lived above it. And so I got to play with beads and do a lot of sewing and crafting when I was little. And so from there, actually I grew up in Canada, and so actually in grade 4, I had a jewelry business with my friend Lauren, and we sold necklaces and bracelets to our friends and our friends' parents and things like that. So my senior year of high school, I was encouraged by just friends and family, and they said, your jewelry is amazing, you should start selling it. So I approached a couple stores in Austin, which is where I was going to high school, and they started carrying it. And then when I came to Baylor, I would have trunk shows out of my dorm room and sell it to my friends, and sold it to a few stores locally in town, and then just spread from there. My husband and I met at Baylor, and then we got married a few years later. We lived overseas for a couple years, and then we came back. And I think we love Waco because it's a welcoming community. I think we saw that there was an opportunity here to invest in a community. We saw that it was a beautiful city and with a beautiful downtown, and when we would walk the streets, it was obviously more vacant than not. And so we felt like we wanted to see this city come back to life, and felt like what wasn't living in us could be used here. And so we just want to be a part of revitalizing downtown Waco. And I think art and culture really is what we feel like is going to bring a city back to life. And doing it in downtown, which is the heart of the city, we feel like that's going to make a big impact. So I'm really inspired by the women that I create my jewelry for. A lot of my pieces have they represent intrinsic characteristics of women that I know and encounter, and I want to encourage those characteristics in women so that they feel empowered and encouraged to live out who they're made to be. And so, for example, I have the bravery necklace. It stands for bravery. It's a little modern day arrowhead, and so it represents strength. And then, for example, the Leora necklace means inner light in Hebrew. I imagine them putting my pieces on and almost like a declaration of who they are. So there's a few ways that my designs come to life. Sometimes I have a picture in my head, like in the middle of the night, I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I have to design this. Sometimes it's a sketch that I might do, so I'll just play with different shapes and have inspiration, maybe from works of architecture, a painting, and so the form starts to come to life as I'm sketching. And sometimes it's just I'll have materials in front of me, and so then I just start putting them together and working with gravity to see how those chains are gonna fall or the wire is gonna bend. And sometimes when I'm going through that process, it won't work out the way I intended, but then something else emerges and I'll go on that track. And so I design all the pieces and we make the samples here, and then I pass it off to my team of artisans. And so they create all the pieces in our studio with chain and with metal, and then we have a soldering studio where we do all of our soldering and all of our polishing. And so we're producing between 10 and 20 pieces to start, and then they go to our shipping department, and then those ladies will ship all our pieces. We photograph them all. I work with a great photographer here in Waco, and so we photograph all the pieces, get it on our website, and launch it to the public and to our stores, and go from there. We design, we fabricate everything here. So we don't ship it off to another country to be manufactured. It's all done here by local artisans. And I'm building a team that wants to do artisan work in Waco. I've loved building a team of other like-minded creatives, artisans, from being a creative to a team of administrators, and we're just moving forward and building our team. And we have over 80 stores in the US right now, and so I'm excited for that to continue to grow and for us to be in more states and be able to reach more women with this message of just value and beauty and meaning, which is why I do what I do. And it would be really neat to have some stores internationally. I have a few in Canada, but yeah, I think that would be really neat to be able to be a part of that and continue adding to our team and growing what we have in Waco and seeing Waco to continue to grow.